settling in. I'm just here a little bit early, so you want to just get your seat settled. You may want a belt or a strap or like a yoga block if you have it, or a book works fine, or actually probably could go without these. I don't want to make it complicated. So just kind of waiting a few more moments here before we get started. If you're just joining, just waiting a few more moments before we get started, and just be comfortable in your seat or your wheelchair. We are going to be doing some standing, but you can certainly do any of the poses in your seat as well. So I always add in a lot of different movements of arms and head here, so you can join in whether you're in your seat or you're standing. So we have a couple more minutes. So just getting comfortable in your space. And make sure you have some space around you to move and ups and downs and outs and aways. I'm gonna assume that not everybody has a chair without arms, so I'm gonna just be focusing on some poses that don't require that you have that space to move. So. If you're already in your space, before we actually start, you can just start to settle in and just get comfortable in your seat. Maybe beginning to close your eyes if that feels okay, and start a comfortable rhythm to your breath. Or just maybe notice how you're feeling. Just notice all the sensations that are running through your body and mind. Just have another minute or so, but these practices that we do here in this kind of setting, you have to be your own best advocate for what feels good for you and your body, for what feels safe for you and your body. So please, always, as I ask in class, to challenge yourself, but also be safe. So we're always practicing that ahimsa, that non-violence, so don't be violent to your body. To practice santosha, or contentment, to be content with wherever you are in your practice. And then compassion, so having some compassion for yourself and kindness as you're going through, just making the practice as nourishing as you can. All right? Since I don't have eyes on you and I can't watch to make sure that everything's going as I would expect it to. I do have a block and a strap we can do the practice without. I don't want to make it complicated. For those that are just joining, you're seated in you're in a seat with your feet comfortably on the floor. And I'm going to assume that not everyone has chairs that have no rails on them or armrests, so I'll be doing practices. The practice is just an hour today, so 10:30 to 11:30. And I can't see who's coming in. I can only see numbers, so don't assume that I know that you personally are here. I wish that I did, but I can see that there are people joining here. So Anyhow, given all of that, let's get started. So, finding that comfortable seat if you're not already there. And I just want to, let's use this time to have some control over what we can control, our breaths and our bodies in this moment. I know everything outside noise is very distracting, so let's try to have some control here in our own space for the next hour. All right, if you can, your back is away from the back of the seat. If you need that support, please use it. I'm going to ask you to drift your shoulders up towards your ears on your in-breath, and then rolling them back and down on your out-breath. Kind of conscious active doing, do, and then don't do. If you'd like a few more, you need a little more shimmy, shimmy, shake, you're welcome to. If you're ready to settle in, just letting those shoulders drop away from your ears rising up from the shoulders. The eyes can be closed or open in a steady gaze, whatever helps you to tune out to the distractions and tune into your body right now in this very moment without the external world adjusting us. Let's get a little bit of grounding embodiment practice here. So noticing the ground coming up to support you. You're going to feel at your feet, your big toes, and your little toes, your heels, the backs of your thighs on whatever surface you're sitting on. The sensation of your sit bones, so those little bones that we rest on. And do you feel like one's a little bit heavier or weighted than the other? I feel like I'm a little more on my left side. So what do you have to do to find that weight in the center so that you're evenly distributed? And then from there, we're rising up, the spine just getting a little bit more strength or length between each vertebrae. The crown or the top of the head rising, and then the chin, not just tucking it in, but just comfortably there, just a slight lift. We're trying to create that length, letting go of the need to overdo or the rigidity of it all. Begin to notice the other senses, tuning into the sounds of the room, maybe the sound of your own breath. Sensation of the air flowing in and out the tips of the nostrils. You might notice there's temperature difference as it drifts on the way in versus the temperature on the way out. Start to find a rhythm to our breath. So on your next inhale, you'll silently say to yourself 1. On your next exhale, 1. Next inhale, 2. Next exhale, 2. And continue to follow that rhythm, guiding yourself towards 10. When you find that your mind has wandered, start over again at 1. It's not a punishment, it's just a practice. Next exhale, just let go of the count, the rhythm. Doesn't matter how far you got. There's no point in judging numbers, just notice how you're feeling. Alright, the thighs aren't already open, you can start to open them. And I always invite us to start it with an intention practice. So you can bring your hands to your palms together. You can have your hands in your lap, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to have you pause to create an intention for your day. How are you going to show up today towards yourself, towards each other, towards the planet, or something that includes all three? Something like gratitude or kindness or contentment or peace. If we can have peace right now. But don't let my mind fill you. I want you to pick your own. All right. If the palms are not already together, let's bring them there. So we'll meet there. You're going to try to spread the fingers out as wide as comfortable, and base of the palms are going to start to head down towards your tail, towards your belly button. Okay? When you feel like your hands are parting ways or you just feel tingling in them, just stop at that point. Elbows are going to spread out, chest rising just a wee bit. Full breath in and out here, little pressure of the hands together. Okay, from here, we're going to press the palms together. When you feel it doesn't feel comfortable for your arms to lift, you just stop, okay? Just stop. Don't force yourself to go higher. And then we're gonna span back down, squeeze the shoulder blades together, cactus arms. 2 more times in that same direction. Inhale on the way up. Exhale on the way down. Great, last one. We'll meet here on the outstretch, pause, and then you're going to reach to the sky. Again, stop where it feels comfortable for your shoulders. Pull the palms together and then draw them back down or center. Exhale. 2 more on your own rhythm. Good, last one. We'll meet in the middle, in the center again, palms pressing, fingertips or fingers wide if that's okay, elbows out, full breath in and out. All right, and relax, or I say stand down. Relax, shake out, clasp the hands, and we'll start a sideways figure 8 or infinity sign, however you relate to this. And it can be a big motion, you could just be getting all into your upper shoulders and stuff, or you can make it small. We're going to pause in the center of that 8 and then head the other direction. All right. Let's do this. If it feels okay to flip the hands, you're going to flip them outward. If it doesn't feel good to do that, just don't, okay? Just don't. And if it feels okay to lift up, again, stopping wherever it feels comfortable. Inhale up. Exhale down. You're going to round the shoulders, let the head drop. And we're going to pull the hands to the belly, drop the shoulders, inhale, open. Okay, 2 more of those. Again, don't flip the hands if it doesn't feel okay. We're rising up, in breath. Out breath, rounding shoulders, drop the head. Pull the pull the hands to the belly. Inhale, open. Good, last one. In breath. Out breath, and in breath, pull it in. All right, relax, shake out a little bit. All right, we're gonna head down the spine. We'll start with the head as we move a little bit through matching your breath to your movement. So we start with the inhale in the center, and on the exhale, you're gonna drop an ear to the shoulder. Don't let your shoulder come to your ear. On your next inhale, we travel all the way back up to center, and the span of your exhale takes it off the other direction. Exhale. And we meet in the middle, inhale. 1 more time to each on your own rhythm. Good. We meet back in the middle, inhale, and on this next one, we're going to rotate, exhale. Meet in the middle, inhale, and exhale, rotation other side. We'll meet back in the middle, 1 more to each direction. Follow your own breath, don't follow mine. and we meet back in the middle. All right, we take an inhale. This time we're gonna head down towards the diagonal. So you're gonna look down towards one hip crease. Exhale. Your inhale is what brings you back up. And exhale other direction. Inhale back up. Good, one more to each. Back and we meet in the center again. All right, shake off a little bit. We're gonna head down through the spine through cat and cow. So I'll show this from the front and then I'll turn to the side. So you're gonna exhale, start to tuck the tailbone under a little bit, maybe round into the upper back, shoulders, head, if that feels okay for your back. The reverse motion, you're gonna flip the hands upward, untuck the tailbone, start to move the spine so you're coming into a little arched position of the back. Maybe lift the chin. Good, so I'm gonna show this from the side. Keep moving on your own breath rhythm. So if you have osteoporosis or osteopenia, don't just flatten out the low back, maybe just round into the upper back. Inhale, rising. Last one. You don't have to turn yours, by the way. All right, and we meet back in the center. All right, so let's do what I call the hula. We're gonna do a little hula. So you're gonna send yourself over to one sit bone, and then maybe towards the front, so I would call your pubic bone, or the front of your hips. The other sit bone, and then back towards your tailbone. So that if you can imagine you're sitting on a clock and you're trying to kind of hit each number on the clock as you travel around. Those are just kind of your landmarks, so your sit bones, your tailbone, your front hips, pubic bone. And it can be small. If you really need some movement, you've been sitting most of the time in this kind of shutdown, you can move a little bit broader. Just ask that you're breathing and moving with your breath. All right, and then we're gonna start to pull it in if you haven't already, making the motion a little bit smaller and a little bit smaller and a little bit smaller until we come back to center, and then we'll head the other direction. I always think I'm heading the other direction, but then I have to question myself. Am I really? Sometimes it's hard to remember, isn't it? Breathing and moving here, maybe one more trip around, and then we'll start to make it a little bit smaller and a little bit smaller and a little bit smaller until we come back to center. All right, last movement of the spinal motion. We're going to take hold of the side of your chair, or maybe it's just the side of your thigh. The opposite arm is going to reach up. So I could reach up. I could have my hand on my hip if the shoulder doesn't feel great reaching. You could also reach from the fingertips and do something like so. Yes. Wherever you've chosen to be, invite a breath into the upside body. For me, it's my left side. You could look forward, you could look down, you could look up. Just take those motions slowly. Good, one more breath, reach into for me, it's my left sit bone, and then exhale, come back up. Do a little shaky shake if you need to. And then we're off to the other side. You're gonna take hold of the chair for me, my left side. Right arm's gonna reach up. So just watch for that bottom shoulder wanting to help you. He doesn't need to, let it go. And again, you could have your hand on your hip or you could be reaching from the fingertips. It's just an energy of the movement. Breathing into this upside body. Full breath in, send that sit bone down to the seat. And then exhale, join me back up at the top. Okay, and we can shaky shake out. Okay, so we've warmed up the spine a little bit. Let's do a little bit of belly work or core work here. So I'm gonna ask you to reach one foot out and the opposite arm. You could lift the foot or you could keep it grounded. I know for me it does help to be a little bit scooched forward in the front of the seat if you're able to do that. Good, and then you're back to ground. We're gonna Reach opposite arm, opposite leg. Breathing on the movement. The spine stays real tall, so I'll show you what not to do is to come into this where you just let everything go, but you stay real tall, or as tall as you can. Ooh, I'm gonna slide right off my seat here. Good, maybe one more to each. Okay, all right, and then come back to center. The beauty is you can stop whenever you want. Nobody's watching you, unless they are. Okay, so let's, if you have a strap, let's take it, or a belt. It could be a belt, it could be even a pillowcase. Let's take it around the ball of your left, I'm gonna say just directly, my right foot. I'm having to retrain myself this week. If you do not have a strap, just take your foot out there. You don't have to be strapped, okay? The opposite one is going to come out. And if you're unable to move your legs, we're gonna do some arm motions and head motions, so don't feel that you can't participate here either. Okay, if you do have your legs in this position, we're gonna sit up tall first, and then we'll do a little side bend off onto that right side. So I'm gonna pull the strap towards me if you've got it. If you don't worry about it. Good. And then this is something I call sunrise, sunset. So we start here, we're looking down towards the right. You're gonna span that arm up and across the sky, and then turn your head to gaze out towards that hand. And then we'll travel back down towards the ground, and this is what I call bow and arrow. So we're gonna slide that arm back, squeeze the shoulder blade, maybe look back, and then send it through again. If you practice with me regularly, you know this, and you can do this on your own rhythm. And I always give the option that if it hurts the shoulder to move this way, just do from the elbow. Yeah, just do the elbow. It doesn't have to be a big shoulder motion. Okay, let's from here extend that arm all the way out. You're gonna gaze out towards that left hand. Good. So like you're reaching through your right heel, reaching through your left hand, and it could be elbow bent. One more breath, and then we meet back up at the center. Exhale. All right, let's help that leg back in. Give a shaky shake off if you need it, and then we'll switch sides. So if you're using your strap, switch the strap over. If you're not, just switch your legs. And if you're unable to move your legs, just move the arms and the head. All right, so we're sitting up tall. You can do a little side bend off to that side. You can do this without the side bend as well. We're gonna start our sunrise. Follow the eyes to the hand if that feels okay and doesn't make you dizzy. If it does make you dizzy, just keep your gaze forward. Okay, and we're gonna pull back. Got a little Irish music here. Could have come in yesterday. Okay, we're gonna pull it back. One more time through sunrise. If I'm moving too fast for you, go at your own pace. Or if I'm moving too slow, go at your own pace. Here we go, extend that bow and arrow all the way up. Now you're reaching out to the right, soften the shoulders, maybe even bend the elbow if that feels better. Looking out towards the right. One more breath. Great, and then we're back up. We meet back up at the center. Bring that leg in, shaky shake out. All right, I'm gonna set the strap off to the side for the moment. Let's take the left leg out. We're gonna head to warrior two again. Not again, for the first time today. So instead of the heel being down and the toes up, you're gonna have the foot more planted. And now I have my leg out this far. You could have it closer in. It does not have to be this huge span, okay? Again, it's just whatever your body can do today. Find a nourishing spot. All right, we're gonna start here in the center. Pull or push the fingertips forward And then you're gonna slide, I call it sliding across the pond. I don't know where I got this idea, but like a trickling across this glassy pond. And then you're gonna look out to the left. This is assuming that your left knee is the bent one. We're gonna slide back across, pull the palms together, see if you can do it without looking at them. Maybe eyes closed if that feels safe, and then you're back to center. We're gonna go 2 more times. Slide across. You could do this with just one arm if the other one doesn't feel great. You could just do it from the elbows. Pull it back in. Push it back out. Inhale. Exhale, slide it back across. Meet the hands in the middle and pull it back in. A little pressure of the hands, elbows out, just where we started this morning. Full breath in and out. Slide it back out. I forgot to hold it. Oh, I was in the zone somewhere. All right, let's turn the palms up and bend the elbows a little bit. You can add a mudra in here. Add mudras in a lot of times. So index finger to thumb or middle finger to thumb, or try a pinky to the thumb. You're going to turn your back palm down and take it down the back leg and maybe reach that front arm to the sky. So I'm not just collapsing back into that leg, I'm almost lifting up from my sit bones to reach up. You could also bend the elbow and you don't have to look up at all. Just giving you options so you're not straining for no reason. One more breath. Exhale, we'll meet back into Warrior Two again. Palms up. Slide across the pond, meet the hands in the middle, pull it back in. All right, whew. Help that leg back in. Shaky shake out, maybe those ankles need a little bit of rotations. Okay, and we'll switch sides. So, for me, my left leg out, my right leg out is also out. Find that comfortable, nourishing position for your legs, and then we'll start again. Find it in the middle. Little pressure of the palms together, and then we're going to push it out. Slide across the water, gaze out towards the right. A pause, and then we're sliding back across. See if you can meet the hands in the middle without looking at them. Pull it back in. Okay. And then we're through 2 more times. Pull it back across, meet in the middle. Last time out, we're going to hold it there. Soften the arms a little bit. Maybe we'll turn the palms up so you can bend the elbows a little. Add a mudra if you like, index finger or middle finger to thumb. Different way you can add yoga in, even if your hands were here or you were here. Yeah, you don't have to be reaching. All right. Lift up from your seat, one more breath. Not actually lifting, you're not levitating. Good, back to Warrior Two, palms up. We're gonna turn the palms down, slide it back across the middle and bring it back in. Full breath in and out. All right, help that leg back in. Oh, shaky, shake out. Maybe the spine needs a little bit of rolling. Let's actually do that. Let's do a little maybe child's pose or wisdom pose. So if you have a block or something to rest on, you can. I'll show different options. So it does help to be a little bit scooched forward in the front of your seat. So this could be your child's or your wisdom pose. You don't have to go any farther. You could drop to a block or a step stool in front of you or a textbook. Good use for those textbooks. You could drop to the floor. Please, if you've got osteoporosis or osteopenia, just keep a flatter back or don't go through this at all. Maybe just stop here. Okay. So wherever you've chosen, you're going to take a full breath in, let your belly expand. Exhale, mouth open, aha sound. Kind of equate it to the sound of the ocean spray coming in. One more breath if you'd like to stay there. All right, on your next exhale, start to walk yourself back up. Your supports. Your head's the last thing to join you at the top. So we're gonna make our way to standing if you're able to and you would like to. You can stay in your chair by all means if you need to or you have to. That's your only option. So if you want to come up yogically, feet are about hip width apart. You're going to scooch towards the edge of your seat if you're able to. Lean in, draw the chin in slightly. Hands to the thighs or your chair, or they can be free. You're going to exhale and slowly rise up. Make sure your equilibrium is with you before you start to move. I'm going to stand behind the chair now. And we'll get my camera adjusted. All right. So feet are going to be out a little bit wide. And we're going to come into what I call starfish. So arms are stretched out. If it would feel safer to hold onto the chair, you're always welcome to do that. If you're seated, you can do this as well. Yeah. So we're gonna inhale. It's like, coronavirus is gone. We can come out into the sun. Exhale, come back down. Good. It's like that first taste of air you haven't felt in days, in weeks. Exhale, come back down. Good. Last one, rising up. Exhale down. The arms for a moment. We're going to go into what I call seaweed. So we go to starfish to seaweeds. So you're doing a side bend, up and over, and back and up and over. If it would feel safer to hold onto the chair, please hold onto the chair at all times. Maybe last one. You're going to find the hands and bring them back behind you, so I'll show you that. Kind of just clasp hands, or you can have the hands on your backside. You're going to inhale, open up the chest. You don't have to turn, I'm just turning for visual. Exhale, release. If you're sitting in your chair, you just put your hands along the side of the chair and open up, inhale. Last one. All right, and then we're back to center. Good. Shake off. Let's see, I'm going to turn my chair, but you're just going to keep yours where yours is. We're going to do a little salutation, modified Sen salutation here. So feet about hip width apart. And I'm going to ask you to just try to pick up your toes and see if you can spread them as wide as they'll go. This is if you're seated too, you're just coming into this as well. Feet about hip width apart, spread the toes. And just notice where you're putting the weight in your feet. Do you feel it more in your heels, more in your toes? And if you feel any of those imbalances, what do you have to do to kind of find the centered space, the most centered space you could be? So that I'm not back here, and I'm not forward, I'm not off to one side, but I'm right in the middle. I'm gonna try to keep that centered space as we go. All right, so it's an inhale to reach up. Good, you could keep holding to the chair if you'd like. On the exhale, we're going to sit back like we're sitting back into a chair. You can hold on to the chair if you need to, or keep the hands free. And then we're back up. Reach to the sky, in breath. And arms to the side, out breath. Come back to mountain pose. Okay, here we go. Rising up, please hold the chair if you need to, or want to. Sitting back. Rising up, inhale. Arms to the side, exhale, find mountain pose, one breath. Okay, we'll go two more. I'm going to show holding onto the chair version. Good, last one. Wait, oops, forgot where I was, inhale, exhale. Shake off, and then find mountain pose, at least for a breath, whether you're seated or standing. All right. I'm going to turn, so if you can, have the chair to the left side, right side of you. I'm going to get my mind on track here. Have the chair to the right side of you. I'm just going to, I think that's good. I'm going to adjust the camera. the chair's on the right side of you. You're taking your left foot forward. No, I want your right foot forward. Sorry, right foot forward. I can totally retrain my brain here. Right foot forward, left foot back. Good. Let's, if it feels okay, you're going to allow your both hands to rise up, in breath. And then out breath, we push the air back down, straighten the front leg. Please hold on to the chair at all times. And if you're in seated, you're gonna off camber one foot and the other. So keep going with that. If you're in standing, I'm just gonna show this seated version if you're in seated, so you can have one foot kind of off camber and you're still doing the rise up, in breath, out breath, okay? All right, next time we meet up at the top, let's hold there. We're gonna rise up. You could be holding onto the chair. Please do that if that feels safer. Add a mudra in, so mudra index finger to thumb or middle finger to thumb. Can't see my hands up there. I'm going to hold onto the chair for that version. Can you reach through your back heel, feel your front big toe? One more breath, whether you're seated or standing. Good. Arm comes back down, straighten the front leg. We're going to keep the legs here though, so just do a shaky shake off if you need to. We're going to bend into that front knee again. Hold on to the chair and side bend away from that back leg. You could have the hand on the hip. If you feel steady enough, you could grab onto that other wrist and side bend away. And I don't know about you, but all this front line stuff is so tight and tense from this stuff going on. Ooh, nice to be able to control our bodies. One more breath, reach, exhale, we're back up to center. And then you're gonna step back to find a shake, maybe, and then mountain pose. One breath, full breath, in and out. Find that equal weight in your feet. All right, let's take the right foot and take it towards the chair, and you're gonna step the left foot away. So my hip bones are roughly square to the front of your space, so that when we do bend into our front knee, that it's just gonna glide right over the ankle, okay, so that my knee is not coming across into the inside of my ankle. But for now, we're gonna keep the legs straight. I'm gonna ask you to reach your left arm back. Your right arm is going to start to extend, maybe down the chair. Maybe reaching the other one to the sky. So you'll see you've got this kind of line through the arms. You could have this hand connected to your leg if that feels safe enough. You could also have this hand on your hip. There's so many options. I just want it to be nourishing for you, so please make that happen. Good. Press to the toes a little bit without, press to the toes a little bit without lifting your heels. One more breath. Good. Bring that arm back down. Exhale. Back up. I'm gonna bend that right knee in. Mine's resting on the chair, yours doesn't have to. If it feels okay, reach the left arm back. If you feel steady enough, reach the right arm forward. We're into warrior two. If you're looking towards the screen, slowly start to turn your gaze out to the right. We'll turn the palms up, soften the elbows a little bit, reach through the fingers. One more breath. Okay, if you feel safe enough to slide across the pond here, so we're going to slide back across, straighten the front leg and pull it in. If not, grab onto the chair, meet us here safely. All right, good. Heel toe, step it in, do a little shaky shake off. Now we'll find mountain pose, one full breath. Let's find a balance pose, tree pose, as though we haven't been balancing. We have. And let's find tree pose. So your roots are going to be on the right leg, your right side, chair side. Spread those toes out and start to off weight. So you're putting a little bit more weight onto your right leg and starting to roll the left knee out. When it it feels like a good stop point, meaning your hips aren't going with you, you stop there. I often invite in a seed pod, so you can have half a seed pod, you can have a whole seed pod. And since you're at home, you could have a wall behind you. You don't have to be stuck where you are, okay? You could have an entire wall supporting you. If you want your tree branches to grow, you may allow them to grow. It could be half a cactus. It could be a whole cactus. It could be a big oak tree or a willow tree. So just be your own tree right now, okay? Zip up the tight pair of hands. Do you see how I'm kind of collapsing into my right hip? I'm going to zip that up and you're going to see me lift out of it. One more breath if you're still there. Find some ease in your effort. Good, we're back to center. And coming back in. Okay, shake off those hips if they need it. All right, let me check my time here. We're good. So, I'm going to invite this in. Please do not do a forward bend or strain your back if this doesn't feel good, but we're going to go to downward facing dog using the chair. So you're going to face the chair if you feel safe doing this. If you're seated, you're going to go into maybe a child or wisdom pose. You're going to walk the feet back. You're going to see that my back is flat. I'm not rounded. I'm not here and kind of rounded out. I'm going to send my hips back. Maybe bend the knees a little bit. Maybe send the feet out a little bit wide. If this doesn't feel great on the shoulders, just maybe bend the knees a little bit. Just come in a little bit. Maybe another full breath if you're there joining me. We're going to bend the knees. Start to walk it forward. Slowly rising up your head's the last thing to join you at the top. Those grounding poses can be so great at this time if you're able to do them. Kitchen counters work really well for this too because they're a little bit higher. Okay, we're going to send yourself to the other side of the chair. So either turn your chair around or flip yourself around. Probably want to see where I am though, so okay, give me a moment to do that. When you are ready, let's meet with your left leg forward and your right leg back. All right. Front leg as you bend in, hip, knee, ankle, all in alignment. We're going to rise up, either one arm or two, so I'll show the one arm version. Inhale. Exhale, you're straightening that front leg. Inhale. Maybe both arms come up, maybe not. Looking up doesn't feel safe, just keep your gaze steady forward. Last one, we'll meet at the top. Good, either one arm reaching or two, add a mudra in. So again, those index finger, middle finger, or nothing. Don't, reaching the fingertips is a mudra in itself. Find ease in your effort. Feel the back heel, front big toe, one more breath. If you haven't already, we'll meet back down. Shake off the shoulders, hips. We're going to keep the legs there though for this next one. So we're bending in. We're going to reach the right arm up and over. Do that little side bend over, but you'll see my knee is not going to go with me the other way, so I'm going to keep it right where it was. You could have your hand on your hip. You could be reaching from your elbow. It doesn't really matter. Make it nourishing for your body. Get one more breath. Reach through back heel, top arm. And then we meet back up at the center. Okay. Step it back together. Shake off. Find your mountain pose. One breath to reset. All right. Let's get off to the side now. So you're going to take your left foot towards the chair and then you're going to step your right foot out. And then you can adjust heel toe. So that back foot, the heel or the foot is parallel to the short side of your space or your mat if you're not using a mat, but, or it could be turned in a little bit. Just be careful with those hips. All right, we start in triangle pose, Trikonasana. So let's reach, do a side glide over. You stop wherever it stops feeling nourishing. Okay. This hand could be on your thigh if you feel safe enough to let go of the chair. You could have this hand on your hip or reaching from the elbow. Okay, steady breath, little bend in those knees, so don't lock them out. I'm only saying that because I often do. All right, find some ease in your effort. Reach, one more breath. Good, bend the front knee a little bit, exhale back up. We're gonna keep our legs here, but shake out the shoulders if they need it. All right, we're gonna bend into that front knee, coming into our warrior two. So if it feels okay, reach the right arm back. If you'd like to keep the hand on the chair, please do. If it feels safe to let go, reach through the left arm. And if you're looking at the screen now, just slowly start to take your gaze out towards your left hand. And if left hand feels too far, just stop somewhere in the middle. Soften the shoulders a bit. Good. All right, if it feels safe enough to come across the pond, or to come across the pond. Otherwise, hold on to the chair with one hand, pull the hands together, and then we straighten the front leg. Good. Stop in the middle, and then we heel toe back in. Or step it back in. All right, shake off, a mountain pose, reset, one breath, equal weight through both feet or sit bones if you happen to be sitting. All right, tree pose, yes, let's root our trees. Some of these really great grounding poses to get your body and mind centered. Your tree roots are gonna be your left foot down, chair side leg, spread those toes out to the best of their ability. Start to take your weight onto that left leg and roll the right knee out. You might be grounded on the floor. You might have a practice where you're able to bring the foot up a little bit higher. Add a seed pod in, maybe a half a seed pod while the other one roots down. Or bring in both seed pods. You can start to grow your branches and unfurl your leaves. Add a mudra in if you like. If you're in seated, that's a really great way to add your yoga in. I don't know, I became a different kind of tree. I'm going to become a cactus. Steady breath, steady gaze. Feel your big toe of your standing foot. Zip up your pants. I feel like I've lost my zip. One more full breath. Okay, we're going to bring it back in, either a half or a whole seed pod. Woo, good. Shake off a mountain pose. One full breath. All right, I'm going to invite in downward facing dog. And this time I'm just going to show an alternate version. So if you have the ability to go a little bit lower, or you'd like to go a little bit lower, you're welcome to. So you're going to bend the knees, you're going to hinge the back, and then plant the hands down, and then come back from here. Now, if that doesn't feel great, please stay up higher. If you have osteoporosis or osteopenia, just please keep a flat back here. And if it doesn't even feel safe to go down that far, maybe just hinging here. Okay. Let's see where I'm gonna go. Let's take a full breath in and out if you're there. Good. Start to walk maybe up onto the fingertips a little bit, bend the knees, walk yourself forward. My back's still flat, you can see that. I'm gonna exhale, rise up slowly, head's the last thing to join me. If your equilibrium is with you, you can start to shift and move the chair back to face the screen. So I'm coming back to center here. All right. If you have a strap or a belt, you can use it. You don't need the block. start to shift to the front of your seat if you're not already. If you have a strap or a belt, put it around one of your feet. It does not matter which one. You're gonna have it around the ball of the foot if that's okay. So the ball of the foot, heel's gonna reach out. You're gonna sit up tall. So watch me without the strap. Same motion, right? The strap just gives you a little bit of something to assist with, but you don't need it. So don't feel left out if you don't have this. Right, heels coming away from you, toes are coming towards you. Sitting up tall, no matter where you've chosen to be. And if it feels okay, you can start to hinge forward. Show this from the side, you don't have to shift though. See, I'm hinging forward, I'm not just rounding in and curling like this. Yeah? Hinge forward. For that contentment and just knowing just enough, like sometimes, just being here is quite enough. You don't have to do any of this forward business. Relax your jaws, your eyes, your shoulders. Okay, one more breath if you're still there. On your next exhale, rising up, we'll meet back up at the top. All right, let's switcheroo. So if you got your strap or belt, switcheroo. If you don't worry about it, just switch legs. So heels going away, toes are coming towards you. Sitting up tall, again, it helps to be at the edge of the seat, but if you're unable to do that or it feels unsafe, don't. Sitting up tall, if it feels like you want something more from this, a little bit more nourishment to the back line body, you can start to hinge forward, but you don't have to. Just notice what's happening at your chin. Are you leaning it forward, thinking that you're getting farther forward? Or can you draw the chin slightly inward, lengthen the back of the neck, broaden the shoulders, and relax the jaw? Breathing. Maybe one more exhale, we'll meet back up at the top. Okay, and let the strap go. Alright, so let's come into a figure 4 stretch or pigeon stretch in the chair. So if you are able to cross your right ankle over your left knee, I'll have you meet there. If that is not happening today or this lifetime, please don't worry. You can still cross the foot over and get a little bit of rotation. If you happen to have a block or a book or step or something, you could put your foot up on that block. But if this bothers the knee, just don't twist it so much. Okay, find nourishment. So we're sitting up tall. If it feels comfortable to hinge forward, you're going to hinge forward. Hinge forward. Again, watch what's happening at the chin. I'm not getting farther just because my chin is getting longer. I'm going to draw the chin in, lengthen the back of the neck, relax the shoulders and the jaw. One more breath. On your next exhale, rising up. You may either choose to cross that leg all the way over, so you're sitting in that cross-legged position in the chair. You may choose to uncross and either without a block or with a block, have that there. You're going to take your left hand to the outside of your right thigh and your right hand to the outside of your chair. Or your rotation. Show the other version. Osteoporosis or osteopenia, folks, just don't overdo this or cram in there. You're just doing a mild twist. Space from the collarbones out is expanding. Relax your jaw, your eyes, your shoulders. On your next breath, we'll meet back in the center. Uncross. And choose your position on the opposite side. Everybody's legs are not symmetrical, right? So you might have to do one version on one side and the other on the other. So either ankles to the thigh, you're doing a crossover with the floor or a block. You're sitting up tall no matter where you are. And then maybe starting to hinge in. So let's show that hinge. Let's see the best way to show that hinge. So we're not just kind could, if that's okay for your spine, don't let me stop you. But you're gonna feel a little bit more sensation in that hip if you stay tall. Relax the jaw, the eyes, the shoulders. Next exhale, we'll meet back up at the top. You can cross that leg over, or again, uncross with either a block or without. You're going to take the right hand to the outside of the left thigh, the left hand to the outside of the chair. And even though I'm turning, I'm still striving to get length through the spine. Relax the shoulders. Jaws. One more breath. When you're ready, and only when you're ready, coming back to center. And we can do a shake out. Sure. Start setting in. Okay. We're going to do a little bit of a hug here. Come back into relaxation. So let's open up. Inhale. Gather it all up. You're going to cross one arm over the other. Full breath in and out. In breath, open. Cross one arm over the other, opposite arm. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, open, gather it all up. And then palms come together. Just where we started. I invite you to come into relaxation. It's not going to be quite as long as it is in class when I'm there live. You can sit back in your chair. I have a bolster here. You could put something out so that you've got something to rest your legs on. Or if you have a step stool or a block, you can use that. What I find that this does, just a little bit of lifting, it just takes a little bit of pressure off the backs of the legs. It gives you a little bit more comfort. But might be in a lazy boy, so I don't know. You might be lounging there. Anyway, find a comfortable spot where you can rest back and the arms can rest either palms down or palms up, or if you need to clasp them to hold them together. I do hope that you'll stay for this part. We'll finish it with coming to a closing of a mudra, a breath practice, and gratitude. So I hope that you'll stay through the whole thing, even though this feels like, maybe I don't need to do this. I think this is the meat and potatoes. All right. So, closing the eyes if they're not already, or keeping them open in a steady gaze, your choice. This one. Allowing the thinking muscles to release, so smoothing out the skin of the forehead. Space between the eyebrows broadens and softens. Eyes are heavy, head is heavy. Joint to the jaw, releasing, creating space between your teeth and letting go of your tongue. Softening the shoulders, away from the ears. Entire back supported by the surface behind you and below you. Notice that those thought trains are starting over and over again. Just stop it, let it drop. Immediately coming back to the sensation of where you feel the breath moving in and moving out. Need to repeat this. I have nowhere to be and nothing to do. These next few moments are mine. I have nowhere to be and nothing to do. These next few moments are mine. bit of a more conscious breath, maybe even a bit deeper. Expand the belly and the ribs and space around the heart. And a slow, steady exhale. How slow can you go? And start any mindful movement that you enjoy. I'll take you through some. You don't have to do anything. You might strum the tips of the fingers, with the tip of your thumb, almost to the point where you could almost feel your own fingerprint for the very first time. So you just snap your body into this present moment. You may curl the fingers and the toes in on one breath, relaxing and letting go on the out breath. You may roll the wrist and or ankles. You may rock the head side to side. You may like a cat stretch or a dog stretch. Not partial. And then starting to find a more upright position if you haven't already, with your feet on the ground or some supports to get you there. Maybe the back is away from the chair. All right, let's come into a mudra here. So, I've been using Pala Mudra this week because of its, I believe, and it's thought to help decrease anxiety. So you might be a little anxious these days, I don't know why. So right hand's going to be on top, left hand is going to be on the bottom, so you're kind of creating a little ball or sphere shape within your hands. Elbows are out, and I'm holding it close to my belly, though you could hold it away. Spine is tall, and eyes can be closed or open, your choice. As we breathe in, the belly is going to expand. You might feel that those hands separate from one another a little bit. And as you exhale, they come back together as your belly draws back in. Keep breathing that way for a couple more breaths. Cycle. Letting go of Pala Mudra, coming into Namaste hands, prayer hands, or Anjali Mudra, or you can have Hidraya Mudra, whichever feels most authentic for gratitude. You bow to a place within you where you recognize gratitude to silently acknowledge at least one more thing in your life to be grateful for today. This could be very long, mine is a big rattling list, but let's come to an end. Send those arms outward and upward, offering gratitude beyond your walls, palms coming together, holding onto that gratitude real close, at least for the rest of the day. All right, I usually once to seal the deal. If you want to join in from home, you may, or just listen. Take us to the rest to get there. Slow breath in, slow breath out. A slow breath into Om. Breathing in and breathing out. Namaste. Spirit of me honors the spirit in all of you. Thank you for joining me today. Keep taking care of each other. Thanks for taking care of yourself today. For those of you that are in Alameda, if anyone is not able to get out of their house, worried about getting groceries, can't get food delivery, just shoot me an email. I'll do the best that I can. Did go to the store yesterday and there are actually no lines. And there was still food left. So please don't be afraid of what you might be hearing out there. My email is info@mindbodymovement.org. All right. Thank you and be well. I'll see you hopefully next Wednesday if we're all still here.